We have got a big problem.
And it affects every single one of us.
We're getting more floods and more drought.
This rainy place that we call home
It is utterly demoralising.
is running low on water.
It's frustrating.
There's already a tide of anger over the state of our seas and rivers. But this is about the water we all drink and use every single day.
It is all of our fault.
We're being warned to think the unthinkable.
That Britain's taps could run dry. As the dry summer has given way to autumn, I've travelled across the country to hear from many people who are worried about the state we're in. My first stop is England's smallest county. This idyllic spot in the East Midlands is best known for this: Rutland Water. There's just not as much of it as usual.
Here's the sort of front door.
Up until 1976, this is where Tim lived. His bungalow was knocked down to make way for the reservoir nearly 50 years ago. And here are the foundations, visible again, after one of the driest summers on record.
Where would the water normally be then?
Above your head for certain, so not there, but probably way up there, and at top waterline, at least probably half a metre above me as well. So this is very, very different, very unique, and it's very worrying.
Do you ever worry about the supply of drinking water when you see the levels dropping so low here?
We have got a lot of water still in this reservoir. It is the biggest reservoir in Britain. So, but it is a worry because we have got to think of the future. A population still increasing. There's more houses being built. What did the government want? 1.5 million houses built. That means a lot of people are going to be drinking and showering and swimming pools and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we've got to be much more careful about how we really look at the future for water.
So what's been going on? Summer 2025 was the UK's warmest on record, with August especially dry. We had just 62% of our usual rainfall. On top of that, so much water is lost through leaks, around 2,690 megalitres every day in England. That's enough to fill well over 1,000 Olympic swimming pools. Put it all together and England is facing a big problem. By 2050, we could be looking at a shortfall in our water supply of 5 billion litres every day. It surprised me. So I asked people how much water they think they use.
I've got a litre of water here. How many of these do you think you use every day?
100. Oh yeah, with showering, maybe like 50.
50 litres?
What's your guess in total?
Maybe 5 litres a day, maybe.
More than 50 litre, obviously.
The average person in the UK uses 140 litres of water a day.
Serious?
Does that shock you?
Yeah, it does. I don't believe it.
Oh my God. I didn't know this thing.
Do you care about how much water you use?
Yeah, I think certainly after this year, because it was so dry. I'm just seeing everywhere kind of parched and yellow. You do sort of think to yourself, well, if it's not raining, where's it coming from?
I hope that we're going to pull our socks up on this issue. And
People who study water, like Hannah, think this year should be a wake-up call for all of us.
it is all of our fault. We have not been paying attention to what's going on.
Could you see a situation where we actually run out of drinking water?
I think that we do need to worry about the fact that there is this possibility we could run out. And it's only if we start thinking like that that we're going to start conserving our water. We do have to look after it and make sure that we have it when we need it. We need some very fast changes to the way that we are using water and the way that we're storing water in order to stop this being a problem in the future, because our summers are going to get hotter.
And it makes it all the more infuriating that billions of litres of water are lost every day. I'm heading north now to Yorkshire to see a leak that has been going on for weeks.
If you look at that, it's like a stream.
And this is an area where the hosepipe ban is still in force.
Well, it's frustrating, it's devastating. You're trying to reserve all you can with your water, you're trying to put water butts in to water your garden, but yet all this water is just going down the street, it's just being wasted.
It wasn't until they actually started digging up that they've had more leaking away, so it's just been running for weeks. But I don't understand why it's not being prioritised, given the state that it is now.
After we told Yorkshire Water we'd filmed at the leak, it was fixed. They said they were sorting out 800 leaks a week. So what are we doing as a country to sort this out? The government insist they're taking decisive action by fast-tracking new reservoirs like this one near Portsmouth. A spokesperson told us we're delivering over £104 billion of private investment to fix leaking pipes, build 9 new reservoirs and secure our water supply for the future. But reservoirs take years to build, then years to fill up. You might think the reservoirs are the answer, but I'm heading to meet someone who says it's not as simple as that. I've come to Lincolnshire, where all this farmland could be submerged by a new reservoir that's proposed for this site.
This is our house, which will be completely destroyed if the reservoir goes ahead.
And your cows are just up here?
Yep, in the next field along.
Would that farm go as well?
Yes, absolutely. So everything would go. So the farm, those houses, that land, everything up to that far village in the distance is all under threat from the reservoir.
How many cows are in here?
There's 28 cows in here.
Hannah farms here. She bought the land as her forever home. But 3 years ago, a letter in the post changed everything.
I opened it up and it read like we'd won some sort of competition. It just said, your land has been selected. And you think, oh, what's it been selected for? To site a new reservoir. And I can just remember my world just feeling like it just dropped away in that moment. Just unbelievable. Just didn't understand.
So in a few years' time, where we're standing could be water.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be quite a few years because this is a very long, drawn-out affair. So there's no fast-tracking that's happened. There won't be a decision until 2030, and so we've got another 5 years ahead of us before we get the decision as to whether it's going to go ahead or not. So we have this hanging over us.
Anglian Water want to build 2 new reservoirs. They have to go somewhere, but Hannah and many others just can't accept that one should be here. So what of the water companies? Well, I've come back to Rutland to meet with Anglian Water. They're building new reservoirs and asking customers to cut back.
You're in a difficult position really as a water company, aren't you? Because what you're selling is water. So do you really want people to be using less of it?
Well, it's about using it carefully. We don't want to stop people using water. It is absolutely essential for everything that we need it to do. But I think we've got to a point now where we have to realise that water is a precious resource. It's something that we all have to look after. But we know that in future, with the kind of patterns of climate change and drought that we're going to expect, that we will need more reservoirs like Rutland to get us through the dry conditions.
So much water lost to leaks as well, also in this area. Do you think you should be investing more in stopping those leaks rather than paying dividends to shareholders?
Leaks is a really important issue for us. I've invested an extra £10 million just to deal with the weather that we've seen this summer, and we have the lowest levels of leakage in any part of the country.
The water companies can only control so much. But I'm meeting a man in Nottinghamshire who has cut them out of his life altogether.
That's 800 litres a day that adds up to. That drip. That's 5 houseworths of water.
It means he and his neighbours in this row of houses in Hockerton don't have water bills, ever. This micro project is pretty unusual, let's be honest. Simon is obsessed with water, but with good reason.
I suppose I'm most concerned about actually the whole system starting to collapse. There's the potential for longer droughts and us really having a lot of water stress, potential for a lot of floods, you know, when the drought finishes and massive amounts of water all at once and having to tackle that. And just generally the whole system going into sort of random patterns where we're getting more floods and more droughts and, you know, and it getting really difficult.
More immediately, we need the rain. It's going to take a lot to refill the reservoirs that we have. But our problem with water runs deep. Solving it will take more than a few rainy days.